I'm going to show you how to do linting. It's pretty easy. So let's just close up. So I'm going to clone the repo, the plugin repo. So this is Linting and Etherpad plugin. Linting is useful to make sure that your code's readable, nice, clean. Let's go back to this. Let's go into here, there. So this, I just installed the author hover plugin. So let's. I tend to leave. Etherpad with minify set to false, and max age set to 0. So that's in settings. So right from the get-go, we've got this weird issue, which is good because we can debug it. So npm run lim, assuming that you've that it's set up right, so you can check that. If you look at your package.json, you should have this basically from here to here is recommended for Lint. We're showing version 1.013 of the lint config, but whatever. So npm run lint should run the lint in itself, but as you see here, we've got this issue. Command failed. So it's good to have problems now because it means that I just get the opportunity to sort of say to debug, because not everything is going to run smooth every time. And I am not seeing. I'm going to do an npm install. That's probably why. Okay, so hopefully now we can do npm run lim. We did have some errors doing npm install, so there is a possibility, because the way the package.json's so here, because these dev dependencies aren't available. I wonder if we can just do so. Just let's search here. Npm install dev dependencies only. It's probably doable. Okay, so it looks like we can do npm install only dev. Now we might have to do only equals dev, but we'll see. Let's try that only equals dev. So I'm aware of this issue with that. So npm only the thought only dev would be right here. So let's check dev dependencies looks right. And then in here we should select. Oh, let's try another approach. Then let's try and do. Let's see what happens if we do this. So this is just doing an npm install at root. So all I'm trying to do here is in the author hover folder is to make sure that it installs depths in here. Oh, I know why. Okay. You'll have noticed that it's actually killed the folder there. Which is not great. This will error, which has been erroring, okay, because it can't resolve it. Why? Npm install, don't install peer dependency, or I might have to say don't check. I'll skip peer dependency. I don't want to do any of these things. These are not what we're looking to do. Interesting. Okay. I was going to stop and start the video, but you can watch me struggle instead. You get that pleasure. So I'm going to do this. Clear the dependencies out. Rebuild them. Oops. Sometimes, because I've been working on other plugins, sometimes I don't know, I might have installed something wrong or and removing node modules and then just rerunning Etherpad will grab all of the modules again, and I've got fast enough internet here to do that. I am in the correct folder, yeah. So you'll see node modules will get repopulated. So history grep clone, we're doing author hover, which is 598. So let's use node modules. We'll do 598, get that lined up, ready to go. Bring this over here. So it's installing it over on the right, and I'm just waiting for the installation to finish, and then I can clone the repo. But before I clone the repo, what I'll do is make sure that my clean install is working. So the actual linting part is relatively pain-free, but sometimes just getting your environment set up, especially it's an NPM thing. NPM has been historically. Oh, what? What? My package JSON gone weird. Ah. That'd be why. Okay, well now we know. Now we know why. Non-alcoholic beer, by the way. I cannot do anything useful, even semi-useful after alcoholic beer. So the error here was because my package.json had got messed around, and I just removed my package.json and package --lock.json. These files are referred to in the SRC folder, and they should not be there. So this is what happens when you don't check, when you don't use a clean repository and then begin a tutorial. But I'm going to leave it in because warts and all, and yeah, development's never like, when you watch tutorials, they're always like, hey, everything worked perfect and there was no problems at all, and that's just not the reality. Especially in NPM land, you've kind of got to know your way around a little bit. And you know, whether you've watched me struggle there, and I work on Etherpad most days. I am not a good developer. In fact, I'm not even really a developer, but I'm just about cobbling my way through life. So there you go. We've got this clean install. You ignore the net tools down below, right? I can now do 598 with a bin fast run this time. So fast run means it won't try and do a bunch of dev. It won't do a bunch of dependency installs. So now we're just making sure that author hover is working. Okay, Etherpad's back up. I will refresh because that's how I roll. Now, because there will be client-side logic that we'll need to bring in. So blah, blah, blah. Right, I think the way this plugin works is if I hover over this, yeah, there we go, it says me. So the plugin is working. We know that it's working. Now let's check before we do the next thing, test front end. Let's see if there's a test, any test coverage for it. Oops. So when we do this, we have to go full size. So it doesn't look like it. So usually plugin tests are run first, and you can check that with them. Just hitting up test front end. You don't need the index HTML. So I do this. I know I'm running Windows here. I have my Etherpad deployment under, where was it? Lint demo, and then Etherpad Lite module. So this is where we're going to be working in this folder. I'm just going to copy that location. Right. So I'm going to open this and then select folder. So I work in Vim, Nano, whatever. I try not to use IDEs just because I don't like them that much, but I do appreciate that it's a bad idea. Like you should use IDEs, and I should use IDEs. I have a lot of very bad habits, and I am not a good developer. But in here, I have the ESLint extension or whatever they're called for Atom installed. Every editor's got something, but basically you'll see here, look. So this is really good because it means I can show you that it cannot find the module ESLint config Etherpad plugin, and that is right because it's not actually installed. So if we do ether hover, we've got no node modules in there. So what you would want to do in this situation is an npm install, but it does not install the node modules folder, which means that there must be a method. So let's see if we can learn together. So we're in the right place, right? We want to install author hovers depth. So npm import. So let's npm install help. Let's see what our options are. Whoa. So save production. No, we don't want any saves. No saves. No. Maybe. So let's just see. No. Let's make sure we didn't make any modifications there. Yeah, no, we didn't. Okay, so if we look at ESLint GitHub, oh my god, we do have these. You see the how we can do an npm install save dev. I'm just looking to see, and then you've got this here. Look, no save, and then with a path to right. So let's try something. File. Can we just do? Hey, well, why don't we just do this, right? What's the path to Etherpad light source? So let's take this. Let's shoot up SRC. Do we need a trailing slash? We do not. Boom. So will that save the problem of knowing where Etherpad is? I think it will. Okay, so and if we do node modules, yeah, so there we go. So probably need to reload this. Let's see. Is there any chance I can just do an ESLint fix and it will fix ESLint? Or do I need to close? I'll tell you what, let's close and reopen. I don't mind doing that, that's fine. Yeah, I thought that's the right place. So now when we come back into here, you'll see here ESLint and it'll tell us if there's any issues. So basically doing the npm install --no --save and then the Etherpad blah 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 blah, all that stuff. It is documented here. There you go. So let's get this initial bit's a little bit tricky now. The good news is that in some of the configs that may be already done on some plugins. So when we use check plugins, it may already do that, but I'm not sure. So that's the syntax that we've used here, and it seems to work. So you'll see here that we're getting a bunch of, now we're getting these lint errors. If I click, if I click there, I don't fully understand, like there's linter and then there's ESLint. I think that they're doing the same thing, but whatever. Anyway, first one is to use strict. So use strict, enter. Okay, so now this will all change. So it does take a few seconds. This laptop is not the fastest. And then this one, it says to use arrow function. So it's just a case of dropping that function, adding an equals and a greater than. Okay, and the next one is check state, which we can just do that does not want that to be underscored. We also do not set how it's defined. So you'll see that. So we're going to change it to that. So that's correct camel case in which it prefers, and then we'll do let. We do modify it later there. You can see we just set it to a non-value, which is not particularly pretty, but I'm not going to mess with it. And then this is the last one. Expected 3 equal marks. So just more of a literal check. Okay, that's cool. And then this one does not want camel, does not want underscore, it prefers camel case. So that's that file done. Hit save. Oh, we don't have permission because I just run as root on this dev environment. I know that's another thing that you really don't want to do. But whatever. It's another charm. Pipe, everything. And we can save. You won't have to go through that step. It's just because how this environment's set up for me is I'm messing around. Okay, keep going through. Hopefully we'll find something a little bit more tricky. So let's do use strict from the get-go. You'll see here that this needs to be a constant. This needs to be it's probably just never redefined. Timer is probably redefined. And you'll see this is like, there's an element of just familiarity with going through the process, but it's just, this is not hard work. It's not difficult at all, but it does take a little bit of time. So here, this is a good one, right? So this is what the syntax looks like here, I think. Yep. So because it's within an object, we use these, this sort of colon and then arrow function notation. Notation's the right word. Again, I'm learning. I'm still learning, as you can probably tell, every day. Even though this is probably code that I wrote, I don't know, like 5 years ago. If I even wrote it, I don't know if I wrote it. It's community code, probably me, and it looks bad enough for it to be me, but not to be a diss on. No, I'm pretty sure it is me, so I don't mean to diss myself. But you'll see we've got a parsing error, and that's totally fine. So the cool thing about doing this is I definitely can tell when I'm being a noob. Like there, easy. Okay, right, so that's those dealt with. And now, yeah, you can see where I've just been lazy. Like, pretty much always whenever this is the case, I've just put 2 in. And we will go back through and check all this. Whether or not we fix everything in this video, I just want to get... so, right, there's a few things we can do here. First thing, sort the line space now. Now, author object is redefined, so we should really not be trying to set it as a new variable because it is already defined, which is super weird that it's done like that. And we'll also try to take this line and we'll shift it up with control up. Your editor will totally do this different to how this is doing it. As long as console1, just bring it onto its new line. Why don't it like font size? Font size is just, it's never used. Okay, just drop it, fine. And just do is I'll leave them in. I could deal with these now, but I'm not gonna. It would not make for an interesting video if I was bug fixing for the whole thing. It's really about just showing how quickly you can just get through these things. Trailing space, use var, probably an object. We change it? I think, if I remember rightly, with arrays and objects, you can set them as constants as long as you don't change the type. Author object lies is constant, no constant sign. So easy then, so we change it to that. Okay. Unexpected white space between function and paren. What? Could do that. I thought that wasn't a problem. I'm making things up. I might be making things up. Come back to that one. See, sometimes things settle. It's weird, but sometimes you just get rid of the low-hanging fruit. Show all the words used. Okay, so this one, this is just a warning. So show author is set as an export there. And where is it? So show author is here. So basically what it's saying is all of this post is in it. It would prefer for us to do this here. Okay, unexpected white space. So yeah, it really does want us to do this. One quick way of dealing with this is just to do something like this. Let warning equals, and then set that, and hopefully that won't be too long. It may be, we'll see. Warning. Helps if you finish your strings. Okay, so I have a feeling that's going to be too long, but I don't know whether that will work then. Is that going to be okay? Are you going to be all right with that? Warning is never reassigned. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. See, this is why I still write a lot of bad code. Just be realistic. So that's now done, right? So now we want to see how we're getting on. So npm run lint. Done. That's it. So then we'll do git status, git commit, lint fixes, git push origin master. And when we push, we've already got an npm publish job set up to auto publish. So just to recap what we've done there, we finagled and finessed our Etherpad installation to not be broken. And then we ran a command to make it so that we could actually run an npm install. And then once we did npm install, we were able to do npm run lint. That told us about the issues. We were able to see each of those issues in the IDE. And then we were able to quickly address those issues in the IDE. So not rocket science. You definitely could do this. Anybody could do this. Like, you don't need to be a developer. You can just be a dude. And it just makes the code more readable and more familiar, and it should make it a bit more battle ready, battle hardened as well. All right, see you later.